I just did it again. Gave a 3-minute spiel without actually turning the recorder on. Chrissy here from Footprint Tarot. I hope the lighting's okay here. There, that might be a bit better. Got light behind me. And as long as I'm not in shadow, it looks okay. Anyway, you will be seeing me at the start of every video from now on. You know, here reviewing videos, I got tired of looking at my torso. I reckon everybody else would have too. Anyway, I'm going to look at the Epstein issue again. I still won't do a reading on him and his case. If you're a registered sex offender, you are a vile human being. It barely makes the grade of a human being. He is a registered sex offender, and I don't want to spend any energy on him. But the fact is that he's only one part of it. It's such a huge radius of things. It's so much bigger than everybody thinks, and there's so many more figures involved or not involved or caught in it in some way or another. So this reading, I'm going to look at 3 people who may be caught in the blast radius. Robert Kraft, who I don't really know much about, except that he's likes that Chinese ladies massage parlours or whatever. Bill Clinton, who is caught there simply because he's been on this guy's plane a lot and stuff, and Prince Andrew. In another reading, after this one, I will be looking at someone called Ghislaine Maxwell, who is Robert Maxwell's daughter. Robert Maxwell died in apparent suicide a year or so ago, I think. And I'll go into also something that I watch Rosie, Psychic Investigator, and I watch Truth Warrior occasionally, and they both had either dreams or visions that aren't very nice, and I want to do a little bit of research first on the place I think they're talking about, and then I'll do a reading on that. Like I said, I'm not psychic, I'm not a medium, I'm not sensitive, I am intuitive, and when I am reading, and when I look at a card, sometimes a word or a phrase or a song card or something like that will just pop into my head, and I go with that. Sometimes it'll pop into my head, and then immediately afterwards it'll go, no, that's wrong, it's this. And I will listen to those things. I've long been brought up to believe when you're looking at questions and stuff, here's Cameo, say hello, that the first thing that pops into your head is often the correct thing. Anyway, without further ado, we will have a look at Mr. Robert Kraft, and just a quick overview on how this Epstein, sorry, apologies to Professor Einstein, is affecting him. Okay, move your furry butt, thank you. Yes, I know, and if you drink my coffee, it took me ages to wean you off the coffee. She used to drink, come in before, and we didn't know it, she used to drink out of my coffee cup, and it took ages to get her off, get her out of her coffee habit. So, yeah. Does anyone else have their cats come in and drink out of their coffee cup? And it's like, ugh. Yeah. It would be cold and I would have finished with it by then, but if there was any left in it, she'd be in there. And I'm like, what? So, if you forgot to take it and rinse it out straight away. Animals. Gotta love your pets, but if you don't, you shouldn't have them. Okay. Robert Kraft. He's a big businessman. He is going to have Eight of Fire, the Eight of Wands. He is going to have a lot coming at him very quickly and very soon, I would imagine. Yes, I know you don't like me reading on bad people, but you know, or allegedly bad people. Okay, so that's him in the centre. Immediate current influences. Six of Water, looking back, and yes, I am using the Good Tarot again. It's a horrible, nasty business. And I'm a chicken. I want to soften it a bit, but it still comes out with the truth. It doesn't dress it up or anything. It's just, yeah, gives it a bit of a softer energy, so it doesn't impact me as much. I find the whole business horrifying. So Six of Water, Six of Cups, nostalgia, looking back over things. Currently someone is looking back at Robert Kraft and his dealings with Epstein and his visits with Epstein for a long way back. That's in the current influences. Overhead, Queen of the Earth, the Queen of Pentacles, resourcefulness. What he does want to think about, resourcefulness. His resources, his comfort. It's generally a woman, but it might not be. But it could be he's thinking about getting his lawyers involved. He might have a female lawyer, someone who's resourceful, who is stable and everything. That's yeah, so I think that's what he's thinking about. That's what's over him at the moment, getting his lawyer involved, if he's got a female lawyer, otherwise, or utilising the resources that he has. Immediate future. This is love in this deck, which I think is strength, or it could be the Lovers. Check the number. I mean, I've got several decks where the major arcana have something different. It's the Lovers, yeah, number 6. It's the Lovers. In the immediate future, his relationship with someone, more's going to be coming out about his relationship with someone, deals he has with somebody. And given that we're talking about the Epstein business, I think more's going to come out in his near future about his relationship with Epstein, and maybe even some form of partnership with him. I don't know. What's underneath him? What he doesn't want to think about. The call. No trouble. This is the call to judgment. I think he knows, but he doesn't want to acknowledge that he's going to be called up to face judgment and defend himself. In his recent past, the Ace of Water, he's formed a new relationship with somebody. It could be with the Queen of Earth. New relationship, new partnership with somebody, and I think it probably is the Queen of Earth, and the Queen of Earth is going to be one standing by him and providing him with resources and stuff, or helping him sort out his resources and stuff. I don't know. I know he's a wealthy man, but doesn't he own the New England Patriots or something? But yeah, this person, whoever it is, who he's thinking, yes, they can help me with a lot of things. It's a fairly new relationship. What is the next step for Robert Kraft? Two of Cups. Well, here we go. Two of Cups next to the Lovers. Again, Two of Water. Again, partnerships, relationships. Forming a partnership with someone. I wonder if he's going to form a partnership with I wonder if he's going to flip and tell what he knows. I think I will do a clarifier on that. Yes, no strip. I'm getting more and more in tune with the yes, no cards, and I'm just going to a couple of clarifiers. This Lovers and Two of Cups card, does that indicate that he's going to... High Priestess. Secrets. He's got a lot of secrets about this business. He knows a lot of secrets. The Hermit shining a light. He's kept quiet, but he's going to start shining a light. The King of Swords. I think this is Trump. Maybe he knows something about Trump. Six of Swords. These just fell out in one big lump, so that's how I'm going to read them. Six of Swords. It's going to be a pretty rough journey. He's going to make a transition somehow. Eight of Swords. He's still looking at some sort of confinement or restriction. I think they're going to take his passport away so he can't leave the country. They could even place him in home detention or something. And the Six of Pentacles. The first thing that popped into my mind was sharing and then money laundering. I think he's going to... Hang on. Yeah, well, I know, but sweetie, Mummy's got to do this, okay? So, where was I? Six of Pentacles. Sharing about money laundering. I think he knows how this sex trafficking ties into money laundering somehow. Oh. Look, hang on a moment. I'm back. She's sitting at the end of the table, not talking to me now because I threatened to shut her in with my husband. Yeah, I've got a new setup. As you can see, I finally got my desk. I've been eyeing this desk off for a while at the local charity shop, and it's such a gorgeous, good, solid desk, and I've finally got it. Anyway, I think he knows some stuff about how the sex trafficking's linked in with some more money laundering, and I think he might be talking about that. I think he's going to spill his guts to avoid, or I don't think he's going to, I think he's going to be restricted in some way, and I think he's in for a bit of a rough journey. But I think he's going to spill his guts on a few things. Oh, underneath the High Priestess was also, and that was hiding underneath the High Priestess, was the Magician. So the Magician can hide things as well. I think he might highlight some hidden pathways. I think if he does all this, he's going to have to be in protective custody because he will be a target of people. Okay, Bill Clinton. What does he have to do with any of this? How's he going to be impacted by it? Yes, that's my thumb. There we go. Oh, shuffles. Forgot to look at the bottom card on this deck earlier when I did Robert Kraft, or whatever you call him. I say Kraft. I might do that with Bill. I'll look at the bottom card with Bill. What is it? I don't often do this, but the cutting bit, don't do that very often. But The King of Water, the King of Cups. Despite his liaison with Monica Lewinsky, and people say, oh, you know, Monica Lewinsky, yes, he did take advantage of her. But despite all that, he's always managed to somehow come out as a sympathetic figure. So, and the King of Wands is sympathetic, emotionally stable, kind, fatherly type figure, and he's always seemed to me to be come out of all the looking like that. Despite that not always being the case, you know. Anyway, what's at the centre? And yes, I am doing the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups is at the centre for him. Some people see this as Russia. The first thought that popped into my head was it was Hillary. I think this is Hillary. I'm not quite sure of her star sign. I'll check that when I pause to swap over things. But I think Hillary is the centre of his life. He loves her very much. And I think what's at the centre of this is how she may be hurt or impacted by it. I don't think he really cares much about himself. Yeah. So, current influences on him. Page of Water. He's had news. This is often good news, but Page is young girl. I think the current influences on him is he's had news about this arrest and more details coming out. I think he suspected there was something dodgy, but he didn't really want to know. I don't think he indulged. I just don't get the feeling that. I think it might be news to him that some of these girls were so young. I think he knew they were young women, but I don't think. I think he thought they were at least over 16, but I think that might be used to him that they were so young. And I'm not trying to be sympathetic towards Bill Clinton. He abused his position of power. So, yeah. Page of Air, delayed or disappointing news. And this is over him. He's gotten some news and he's really disappointed by it. And it's something he wished he'd known a long time ago. Because it's been delayed, and it's been delayed for a while. I think he knows that there's going to be some repercussions, even if he didn't, do anything with those girls, the young underage girls. He knows that there's going to be some repercussion on him somehow. Hey, I'm back. A couple of things, and this is, I believe it is Hillary. She's not a water sign. She's a fire sign. She's a Sagittarius. She's born on the 26th of October. I don't know much about astrology, but I do know there's a cusp period, and she's only 3 days out from the Scorpio, which is a water sign. But in this instance, yes, it does represent her, but not because of the cusp. I think it's because she is the stable emotional grounding in Bill's life, and he's just worried about her, the impact of the whole thing. Now, we went to the Page of Water and the Page of Air. I drew a couple of cards before I realised I was having some more difficulties. So, first one was in the near future, temptation, the devil. I think some things might be coming out about some of his not not greed and avarice money-wise or anything, but about some of his cycles of behaviour that aren't exactly what you'd expect from a loving husband and former president. I still can't see him with little girls, at least not knowingly. Not knowingly. I still can't see that. That's just younger women, yeah, definitely. But young like 13, 14-year-olds, no, I just can't see that. Not knowingly, you know. So, and I think if he suspected at any time, he would scoot it out of that room. But underneath it, what he doesn't want to think about is Hillary again. And I think in this instance, he doesn't want to think about what she might find out through Epstein about some of his philandering. I think he did utilise Epstein for his philandering, but I think Epstein knew that particular part of it. The young girls, no. But I think Epstein had a stable of young women and older girls that Bill might have utilised. That is opinion and that is speculation. Okay, it is not accusation. Okay. In the recent past with Bill, the Empress, young strong women coming forth and saying, look, you know, this was done to me. This is what the Empress has come to represent for quite a few readers with regard to this situation, is these young women and them stepping forward and talking about things. Okay, and that's been in the recent past. The next step for Bill, he's 9 of Air, he is in for a lot of anxiety. Look, even if he did nothing wrong, he's going to be tainted by association. And that's going to cause a lot of anxiety. Okay? And it's just, yeah, some relationships you never get away from. You never get away from the association with them. I'll do a little bit of clarification on the devil. And on the page, this news that's hanging over him that he's got to think about, the page of air, this delayed, this disappointing news. So we'll do that first. No cards have just fallen out in a great heap like they did with Robert Kraft. I've never had that happen before. And there were so many cards that fell out, like 6 or 7 in one thing. And then when I came back from moving Cameo, I sat down and a card fell off the top of this deck, which was sitting on the thing, and I nudged it or something, and it was the eight of Wands. So anyway, so this page of air, what's that about? It's the Star. Delayed news about something that might give him some hope, perhaps. So it probably delayed news, but not necessarily disappointing news. What's the Devil card? The Hierophant. I'm going to need some more. This represents institutions, it can represent the government, it can represent religious beliefs. It's on the bottom. The Emperor. The Chariot. Moving on. Victory. Government. Temptation. This is all in the new future. So something's going to come about about a cycle of behaviour, but this indicates chariot and moving on from it, and government, getting help in some way, not being in government, but I think something might be coming out about, I don't know, it's odd. He may have still, I think this thing with Jeffrey Epstein goes back way to when, like, before Clinton was president, before he was in power, before he was in government, and I think maybe he utilises Epstein's services for younger women, not girls, maybe while he was still even in government, either as a governor. I don't think it was why he was president, but maybe why he was governor. Something's going to come out about why when he was governor. But I think he's going to emerge from that okay, by maybe being honest about it and talking about it. If he did nothing wrong with those little girls, well, morally reprehensible, yes, but if it wasn't illegal, well. But this anxiety, the 9 of air, judgment, he's going to be very anxious about being judged about all this. And the Tower, there's going to be a Tower moment that's going to, he's anxious. He's anxious about something that's going to topple what everyone thinks about him completely change it. And he's just going to be judged on it. He's not going to emerge unscathed. But I don't, apart from the Hierophant, I don't see any legal cards here. And I don't think this is pertaining to the law. I don't think it's pertaining to the president. I think it's maybe something to do with when he was governor. That's just my gut feeling on that. But and if it's not that, it could represent the church in coming out and saying that he turned to the church and overcame his vices. I think it's a little bit of both, the Hierophant one. You don't just become president and then decide you're going to, you know, seduce a young intern. It suggests to me a previous pattern of behaviour when he was governor, but I think it also represents maybe getting some help to overcome those things. I think a lot of that's going to come out. But I think he's really terrified that this is going to catastrophically change the way people see him, and they'll judge him harshly. But I don't see any real legal jeopardy cards. But he's not going to be untainted. I mean, it is going to change the way a lot of people see him. How can it not? You know, especially when they suspect that he maybe suspected some things but turn a blind eye. What's the saying? All it takes for evil to flourish is for good men to say nothing. Or good men to do nothing. Okay, the third person I'm going to look at in this video is Prince Andrew. All I really know about the situation with Prince Andrew is, I know because, you know, I'm an Australian, we all watched his wedding to Sarah Ferguson, we're all aware he was a playboy and stuff, and that he's continued in his playboy ways even when he shouldn't have. We know he's in an odd living situation with the former Duchess, whereas that they still live together, but they're divorced. It's all very bizarre and weird. And it's a strange situation. Got my watch on backwards. Okay. So, how... Two of Pentacles that flew out and flipped open. He is trying to balance things. He's trying to find a balance with this. He's trying to find a way, I think, in which he doesn't get dragged into it. That card flipped out. I'm going to leave it out. What's at the centre of this for him? 7 of Fire, 7 for Wands. I think he's going to feel the need to stand up and defend himself in some way. Stand his ground and defend himself, defend his actions. You know? What's the current influences on the situation for him? 8 of Water, 8 of Cups. Walking away. I think some people are telling him, if you are involved in this in the worst possible way, we're done with you, we don't want to know. That could include his family. I just don't see how they could stand by him. And survive it. I think he's being told that. Queen of Cups again is over him. What he wants to think about. I think this is actually the Queen herself, and that's the first thing that pops into my mind. His mother has provided emotional support and stability, and what she thinks and the way she goes, and you know, it's very important to him. And what is Mummy going to think? And think it's in his mind, and it's over and over and over and over again. His immediate future, the world's going to turn and look at him. I think something is going to come out about him in this business that shifts the world's focus to him in some way. What's underneath it all? What he doesn't want to think about. He's going to be called to justice. He's going to be called in and say, defend yourself, because we're judging you, and he just doesn't want to think about having to face that. What's in his recent past? The King of Water, the King of Cups. I read severe disappointment. People often see the King of Cups as Putin. And the other thought that popped into my mind. Sometimes I find that a card can represent more than one person, like the emotion of one person or the emotion of two different people. And this is the thing with me. It's not so much emotion, it's the emotion of one person. And I think that's his brother Charles. And Putin's got a hold over him about something, and he's come out with that. And I don't think he had any idea until recently. because it's in the recent past. I think Putin has some information about it, and also he's just disappointment, heartbreaking disappointment on the part of somebody who is very important to him, and I think that's his brother Charles. For some reason I got those two things popped into my head. The next step for him, he is going to have to be very, very strong. He's going to have to display considerable strength to get through whatever is coming up for him. I'll do some clarifiers. I want a clarifier on the King of Water. I might ask if the Queen of Water is his mother. And I'll do a clarifier on the Strength. I do know the people in his family are going to turn their backs on him, some people in his family, because they can't, yeah. There's no way the royal family can go, we stand beside him, because what they would lose, what the monarchy would lose. If they did that, it would be the end of them, I think. Queen of Water. I asked if that was his mother. I came up with the Queen of Pentacles, which is a yes card. Yes, that's the Queen. He's just, yeah, that's all I can think about. The King of Cups is that Charles. King of Water is that Charles. Four of Pentacles, that is a... that's a maybe. That's a maybe. It is Charles. Oh, Eight of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is a no, it's not Charles. Sorry. But whoever it is, Eight of Cups is they're going to walk away from him. And the Nine of Pentacles is a yes. And the Eight of Cups is a... it's a no. So it's not Charles who's disappointed in him. But whoever it is so disappointed they're going to walk away. They can't do it anymore. It could be Edward, the younger brother. Younger brothers often look up to their big brothers. Anyway, the Strength. What is he going to need his strength for? Queen of Wands. Investigations, that's intuition, passion, fiery. But investigations, that's all that's going on in my mind. I don't know if the chief law officer in Britain is a woman. I don't know. But a woman has something to do with investigations. And news about money. He's involved somehow with money. I think he's in a world of hurt. I think he's going to be even more impacted than Bill Clinton. But maybe not as much as Kraft. I don't know, but he's definitely got something to do with it. I'll ask one more question. Is this King of Water, is that Putin? Queen of Cups is yes. I think it is Putin. Putin said, "You're on your own, buddy. I'm not going to help you out of this. I've helped you out of things before, but not this." Anyway, that's my reading on Robert Kraft, Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew. Just please remember, it is my opinion only, based on interpretation of the cards, and please remember that, you know, in cases like this, if charges are brought against any of the individuals, they are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So just if you are going to comment, please remember that. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next reading. Hey, Christy here. It should just take a couple of minutes. I was just packing up from the reading on Kraft, Clinton and Prince Andrew, and I was just shuffling the cards to clear the energy, and the page of water flew out again. I hate to say this, but I think there's more news coming on. Even more news about more young girls coming out. I'll tack this on to the end of that this video, okay? Yeah, or maybe even the beginning. So, yeah, okay. Thank you.